The experience of tension, of difference, and of conflict are not always reasons to feel discouraged. Because putting together people who think differently, who act differently, who have a hard time understanding one another, this is what the church does. It's what the church has been doing since its inception. And tension can actually be an indication that we are doing the hard work of building a common life, building life together, of learning how to live our faith. Tension has the potential to form us into the people that God is calling us to be. Engaging differences of opinion, leaning into relationships that are difficult for us, sticking around when it's hard is one of the ways that God forms and transforms us. And so with that in mind, we are asking you this month to lean in, to try to stay open to the ways that tensions in our community might be propelling us into something new. We ask that you keep your eyes and your ears open, your heart soft, your mind open to other ideas, to other opinions. But in order to prepare for this, I want to talk about some fundamentals that we're going to hang on to as we enter into this month. It doesn't matter what you believe about any of the stuff that's going on. These fundamentals are for us as Christians, as people who follow Jesus. These fundamentals determine our posture as we have these conversations. They are for all of us. And so if you're tempted to think about someone else who should be here and hear these fundamentals, or if you're thinking that person really should engage that fundamental, I want to just invite you to ever so gently bring your reflections back to yourself and think about your own heart and mind. And we are a little like people born colorblind, who through the work of Christ have a new set of eyes through which we see the world in a whole new way. We don't see people based on their sarks as the world sees them and categorizes them, but in their newness, in full color. When we put on our redemption glasses, we see everything differently, including one another. We see people in their belovedness. Greg Boyd says this: all you need to know about other people is Jesus Christ crucified. All you need to do is agree with God about their insurpassable worth and agree with God that they are worth dying for. Paul reminds us in this passage that Christ died for all. All. Christ died for all. Like there's not a person living or dead for whom Christ did not die. Christ died for you. And Christ died for the person who causes that chemical reaction in you. Christ, in his death, life, and resurrection, has exposed that all of us are enemies of God, and all of us are beloved of God. And we all enter this building this morning on the same footing. We can't and have not earned God's love, and we have God's love anyway. And Paul says in this passage that this new creation will require death. Death to old patterns. Death to old ways of navigating and managing our world. And some of the things that some of us will need to die to will be very precious beliefs. Because sometimes these things become a stand-in for Jesus. They become a stand-in for the new thing. They keep us enmeshed in the old world, the world that Paul says has now died, so that the new can come. I have this picture in my mind, like there's been this shift in the tectonic plates, even in our community. A split has happened in the ground. And so we've all retreated from this big fissure. We've gotten as far away from it as we can. And maybe we've built walls and houses where we've camped out. We might have picked up a few weapons, because who knows what's coming out of that split in the ground. It might be a monster. Anybody see the movie Tremors when they were 18? It might swallow us up, right? But what if where that burgeoning is happening, where that lifting is happening, is new life coming? What if we could step out from our corners and meet in the middle, in the territory that might hold some fear for us, and witness the flowering of new life? I wonder too if we can rejoice then when we see tension, when we experience differences, because it is an invitation to step into new territory and maybe to witness something we could never have imagined could happen. It's an invitation beyond what we already know into something totally new. See, tension and polarization can reveal the ways that we have yet to allow Jesus to work out reconciliation in our midst, to bring new life and hope, to bring his new thing. Tension has the potential to reveal the things that we need to lay aside in order to step into that place.